Today I'm with the #1 featherweight in the US and member of Team USA, Bruce Shu Shu Carrington. How are you doing, Bruce, and how's the training going?
I'm doing well. The training's going well. Staying consistently ready. Just have to stay ready, so I have to get ready. I have another camp coming up, the 28th of this month, November, and just keeping myself prepared just so I can get ready for my future fights coming up for the following year.
Now, you just travelled with Team USA to Europe competing.
Yeah.
You was in Spain, but competed in France. What was that experience like?
It was beautiful. Never been to Spain, never been to France, and Spain was beautiful. Nice weather, palm trees. Training camp was great out there. It was awesome. Had some good sparring from guys from Peru and Spain and other parts of Europe. I took that momentum into training camp and competition into France. France was awesome. Got to see the Eiffel Tower. And different type of sightseeing and stuff. Got some little stuff to bring back to home for the family, like little T-shirts and stuff. But it was fun. It was a great experience, and I got a lot of great development out of that tournament as well too, from fighting out there, and just seeing different looks. It helped me out.
When I spoke to Cam F. Orson, he said a similar thing, that one of the best parts of being a member of Team USA was seeing different parts of the world. Now, you're one of the senior members of Team USA. You've seen quite a few countries already, haven't you?
Yeah. I've been across the world. I've been to Bulgaria, been to London, now Spain and France, Peru, Nicaragua. And then the list is gonna keep growing. And it's a blessing because I come from New York, and I come from a poverty-stricken area in New York, or Brownsville, Brooklyn. And me growing up, I would always be think like this, probably there's nothing that could get worse than this, but my struggles will there's nobody that can understand my struggles. But you go to other countries and you start to notice some people have it worse than us. So they fight harder. Like other countries, they fight harder and they really grind to make sure that they they make their ends meet and they make their dreams a reality. So it humbles me and it pushes me to work harder, because I think about my life, like I can have it much worse, and I understand their hunger. So it just makes me, look at life in a different perspective.
Now, one thing I've noticed, I interviewed Team USA, two from Team USA, the flyweight Anthony Herrera and super heavyweight Richard Torres Jr. You come across as a very close-knit, bonded team. Is that how it is?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, everybody is like brothers and sisters on the team. We're really, really tight. Like I can tell you that the team chemistry is none like no other. Like I've had a lot of different teammates before that, but this team right here is just it's one like no other. I love how the team is going. We push each other. We tell each other when we're wrong. We're honest with each other, and I just love the fact that we just feed off each other's energy. Like we're amongst the great in the world, and it's just we're just gonna continue to be better, and I promise that we're gonna have multiple medals going into the Olympics.
Now, we've got two new team captains. How did they do on the
field? Naomi, she got gold medal. I think her opponent's probably scared of her because she didn't get to fight out there. And Joe Hicks, he had gotten the silver medal, if I'm not mistaken. He did well, but his tournament had to be cut short because he had got a cut on his eye from the fight that he had actually won. But he couldn't continue because of the cut.
Are they making good captains, Bruce?
Oh yeah, no, they're making great captains. I love the captains that we have right now. Naomi, she's a she's a vet, and she's you know, she's like, you know, very like straightforward and honest when it comes to like, you know, our decision making and training and everything. And Joe, he's a hard worker, man. Joe pushes everybody. Joe pushes, you know, me like every morning, all the time, and as much as everybody else on the team. Like it's a, you know, it's inspiration, you know, and I honestly feel like we picked some great team captains.
Like I said, you're one of the more experienced members, and you look like you take your boxing serious, but you're a bit of a character as well. You like to lift the spirits up, and a bit of a joker of the pack. Am I right in that assessment?
Yeah. In some ways, you could say that. Yeah, you could definitely say that.
Oh shit! That's how you walk in the gym, Shu. That's how you do it. Hey, hey, yo, it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
I'm really interested when I looked at interviewing you. Was like you said, you're from Brownsville, New York, in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What's it like? Obviously, my generation knows it from Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, and Zab Judah, and there's many more. And now, obviously, Danny Jacobs. What is it about Brownsville that's producing these champions? And what's the area like as well?
It's just like a real rough, tough neighborhood. Like, I mean, coming from New York itself is like, you know, everybody is like really, you know, much more aggressive than like, you know, I would find anybody else in the country, to be honest. But then you go into a smaller pack, and then you kind of go into Brownsville, which is kind of the roughest, toughest neighborhood in New York. And it's just like it's just you're bound to breed champions. Like it's just the stuff that we go through, the things that we see, and you know, it's just like I just felt like we were built different. You know, guys that come out of Brownsville are built different, and that's kind of like one of the main reasons why like Brownsville just produced so many people. Like you have to understand that. Like you have to understand that Brownsville is a neighborhood. You know, it's not a city, a state. So guys, they come up like, oh, you know, we have like big guys coming out the Midwest, and which is multiple cities. Oh, we have guys coming out from this city, this town. No, this is a neighborhood, which is like, you know, that's you don't find that anywhere else in the world. You know, you don't find just one neighborhood just breeds a bunch of champions. It's just honestly, it's just our lifestyle. Just, you know, it's the reason why like we stay hungry.
I read somewhere that it's the most densely populated area in the US as well, Brownsville.
Yeah, definitely. On one block, there's about 8 buildings on one block. 16-story buildings on each of those 8 buildings. Then it's about 8 apartments and one floor on each floor. And, you know, all of them, each one of those apartments are usually, you know, full family houses. So yeah, it's very populated in that area, in one block. And that's just one block.
Your father took you to boxing when you were 7 years old. Why did he take you?
Yeah.
Did he love boxing, or was he a former boxer?
He was never a boxer, but we used to watch boxing when I was younger. Like, we was a big fan of Mike Tyson, obviously, because he's come from Brownsville. But yeah, we used to watch boxing a lot before I even started boxing. But the main reason I started boxing was because when I was younger, it used to be, you know, I was like this short, scrawny, nice kid, and it used to be kids bigger than me that tried to bully me. And I used to beat up bullies that tried to bully me. You know, I just, you know, had a natural way of defending myself. And my dad, he couldn't like really believe it because I was just so small. Like, it's like, you know, he put me inside the gym to see what I got. And it just became natural to me. I started to learn that, like, I started to realize I was learning fast as I was learning different moves and combinations. And I learned how to slip, you know, and dodge punches without like anyone teaching me. I was just naturally, you know, just aware to dodge a punch. And, you know, it was just something that I just fell in love with after a while, you know. But yeah, my dad, he definitely, you know, I think he saw that in me before I even, you know, saw it in myself, that I probably had a talent for the sport.
Now, you seem very close to your mum and dad.
Yeah.
How much has their support meant to you for your boxing?
Oh, Oh, it's big. It's huge. To be honest, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't, be the fighter that I am. My mom, if you ever see my mom or you ever live at one of my fights, after all this COVID stuff is over, she I don't care how many people was in the arena, you're gonna hear her as the loudest person in the arena.
That's like my wife.
My mom goes crazy and nobody can tell her to be quiet because that's when you're gonna have a problem. But my dad definitely, my dad is more so that, he has more the calmer approach, but I can say he's my mentor. He keeps me grounded, he keeps me focused, he keeps me make sure that I never stay off the path. Like, he keeps the fact that the job is at hand is, he keeps it in my head. I love my mom and dad. They keep that balance in me, and like I said, without them, I probably wouldn't be as far as I am in boxing as I am now.
And did they give you the name Shu Shu, or was it a family name, or where did that come from?
Yeah, it was just a family name that just caught like rapid fire with everybody else that, outside of the family. It was the thing. Me and my dad, we have the same name. I'm Bruce Carrington Jr. and he's senior, and he just wanted to differentiate, us whenever anybody would call our name. We don't want both of us to, get confused or whatever. So I guess the baby name was just, Shu Shu just came up, and everybody just started calling me Shu Shu. Boxing, outside of boxing, everybody's called me Shu Shu.
Now, I've watched one of the videos when you was very young, where you're calling out the other boxers and you're saying, I'm going to take over, I'm going to stop this one. And you was very, very young, weren't you, 8, 9 or something?
Yeah.
Was that you as a child? Was you just very confident?
Yeah, it's funny me watching over those tapes when I was younger. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes. But yeah, I was about like 9 years old, but at that young age, like I think about it now in perspective, it's incredible. But I knew what I wanted to and where I wanted to be at that age. I had supreme confidence. I just knew once if I stayed, on the right track and with years of experience, I knew I was going to be able to make it big. And then I had stable mates in the gym. Like I started out at the Star City Boxing Club, and the owner, Jimmy O'Farrell, he had like a bunch of guys in there that were like big, like such as Saddam Ali. He was still amateur going into the Olympics. Daniel Jacobs, he was still amateur. Curtis Stevens, he was undefeated. Luis Collazo, he was the WBA champ at the time. Paulie Malignaggi, bunch of guys that I was just around and just fascinated by. I just knew that if I stayed around those guys that were world champions, I'm bound to be one myself. So that's
talk about Danny Jacobs there. Obviously, he's reached the peak of sport. He's only lost to the two, possibly best in the sport.
Yeah.
Could you see a difference in Danny where he was pushing himself training? Could you see it even at that young age?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Danny was in a level on his own. Actually, Danny was he was actually one of my favorite amateur fighters watching growing up. I just loved how he just put his combinations together, and his work ethic was one like no other, to be honest. But he always pushed himself. He always made sure like he was just one. He was just better than the rest, and. Danny Jacobs is like a big brother to me, to be honest. Like, he always shows me love every single time we see each other, expose me to different things. And, I'll always and forever be a big fan of Danny Jacobs. Brownsville's own.
Now, you've got your own style, obviously, but a bit like Danny Jacobs, you're a boxer puncher, but you're very calm in the ring. Does that come with experience, or was that your natural style?
It does come with experience, like the calmness, but I also believe that, that was always my natural style, to be honest. I remember when I first started boxing, I tried to adapt the Mike Tyson style just because he's my favorite boxer at the time. And when I was fighting, I was shorter than most of the guys I would fight, so I had to adapt that peekaboo style a little bit. But as I started to grow, I started to see that I was naturally, transferring into the Mayweather cut type of style and becoming a boxer puncher. And I've noticed that style was fitting me well because it helped me a lot with my defense and to where I can hit and not get hit and overwhelm some of my opponents with, cutting down their punch rate. And I just felt much more comfortable fighting like a boxer puncher after the years went on.
part of your training, you include a plant-based diet, don't you? How
Yeah,
beneficial do you find that? I know I spoke to Cam F. Awesome, and he
yeah,
said it made a massive difference to him when he went on
yeah,
it.
definitely. Well, one thing I will tell you that my sluggishness is no more. I've been vegan. I've been plant-based for 3 years now, and it's crazy because like I lose a lot. I've lost a lot of weight. I used to fight at 132 pounds, but since I've been vegan, I've been fighting at 125 pounds, and I just feel though I'm cutting weight, I feel stronger than ever. Like the power that I carry in the fights now with my opponents is just like, you know, it's crazy. Like I overwhelm my opponent, push them back, and catch them a lot of big shots. But my energy level has been tremendous. Every morning I'm up. You know, I wake up without a problem, not feeling sluggish, and I don't have like little, you know, body aches or anything like that. I'm actually eating vegan pizza over here right now, which you saw before we started recording. But yeah, but it's just transferring into that diet helped me tremendously, and I recommend that to any athlete, any boxer, whatever, to try it and, you know, see how well it does for their body.
Now, obviously, that's helped, as you say, but nothing beats hard work of training. But who else, Bruce, has helped you reach the top level? I mean, you're just about to enter the final qualification for Tokyo Olympics. Who's helped you reach that level?
Well, first and foremost, I would say my dad. My dad at home, he helped me out big, you know, just mentally, you know, just making sure, like, just reminding me that, you know, I can always do anything as long as I, you know, push myself and train hard and, you know, stay dedicated. But then I also have a lot of help from, you know, guys, you know, back at home and sparring, and like Richardson Hitchens, and also a lot of guys on the USA team, you know, Tiger Johnson, Delonte Tiger Johnson, Keyshawn Davis, Anthony Herrera, you know, just a bunch of guys. Like, it's so many people that contribute to where I am now. You know, it's so much to name, but those guys I cherish a lot, and you know, I'm gonna, you know, keep with the game plan so that I can get that gold medal come July in Tokyo.
I know it's hard when you're pushing forward and looking forward to Olympics, but what is the favourite memory that sticks out from your amateur career so far?
Winning the Olympic trials in last December in Louisiana, out here in America. It was such a beautiful experience because I've been through so much. Actually, that was like my first time going down to 125 pounds weight division, and well, I had a qualifying tournament before then, but you know, that's my first time really getting comfortable with that division, and I was just so focused. Like, at that moment, I've never been so focused in my life up until that tournament. And I worked so hard. I got to the tournament to where I knew that I was ready and I was in shape. And I in my mind, I just knew no one was like, I wasn't going to lose that tournament. I came into the tournament last seed. I had to fight the number 1 seed the first day, beat him. And mind you, the tournament was a double elimination tournament as well too. So, you know, you had a chance to either lose twice before you were eliminated out the tournament. So I beat the number 1 seed guy, and then went on to defeat the last, you know, top seeded guys. I fought number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 seed, and beat all of them, and won the tournament undefeated. And then got awarded the best boxer of the tournament as well. It was like nothing was better than that, you know. It was just a dream come true, and it's a moment I'll cherish forever.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, do you train partly at Teddy Atlas Cops and Kids Club?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because I watched about these, and there's 2 men there that really interest me that have probably helped you. One being obviously Teddy Atlas, fantastic coach, but also Pat Russo, who's the founder. What have those 2 men meant to you, and what are they like?
Oh man, well, one thing I'll start off with Teddy. Teddy is great. You know, I love Teddy Atlas. One thing, every single time he visits the gym and he, you know, he sees me just shadow boxing, whatever, he gives a great, you know, constructive criticism. You know, he'll point out a lot of my good things first. He's like, "Oh, you're doing this well, but you need to work on this." Like, he doesn't shy away from like telling you the truth, and, you know, helping you become like, you know, perfect at whatever you're doing. Like, he helps you perfect your craft. And he just contributed to the gym, you know, the funding the gym a lot. Now with Pat Russo was like another, you know, family member. You know, he's so close to me and my family. He's helped out so much. Man, it's so much I could say about Pat Russo.
Sorry to interrupt you. It looks like it means a lot more than boxing to Pat Russo. It's about you as people as well.
He's very passionate about, you know, about boxing and about the kids in boxing. Like, you know, his main goal is just to, you know, get the kids off the streets, and, you know, even if they don't even turn boxers and, you know, into competitors, just something to keep them busy. Like, we have tutors inside the gym to help them out with school. To be honest, like, I would say everybody that goes inside the gym, probably about 10 to 15% of those people inside the gym are actually competitors. Everybody else is just someone that's just, you know, want to get their mind off in the street, just, you know, just to spend time, you know, just to be around positive people. Because inside the gym, we have, you know, a lot of, you know, positive guys and professional guys, such as myself and other professional boxers. So, you know, it's people that they might see on TV, random people that come to the gym, and they're starstruck, and that makes them want to come to the gym more and stuff like that. And, you know, that's the main goal that Pat Russo wants to, you know, wants to push forward. That's the main goal he wants to shoot at for kids, just so they can, like, stay off the streets and be protected. You know, he really cares about, you know, the community, and that's one thing I'll always love about Pat Russo.
And do you feel a role model like that, Bruce? Like these kids looking up to you now, like you did when you was a young lad. Do you feel that?
I hope so. I mean, you know, I get, you know, good feedback from a lot of people. You know, they tell me that, you know, they look up to me and stuff like that, which is like really, it shocks me, because I never thought that I would get to the level to where I would be someone else's role model. You know, it wasn't too long where I was just looking up to Dom Ali and Danny Jacobs myself. So other people coming up and they're telling me, you know, that they're looking up to me. It's humbling. You know, it's really humbling. And, you know, I'm just going to continue to, you know, make people proud.
And what advice would you give to those young kids if they're watching this?
One thing I will always say, I will always tell them, you know, try to be the best at whatever you do. You know, if you're not trying to be the best at it, then ask yourself, you know, what are you doing it for? You know, stay dedicated, stay pushing. Consistency is key. And you got to understand you're going to have your ups and downs, you know, but you just got to ride the wave. You got to ride the roller coaster, because that roller coaster will come to a finish.
Last question, Bruce, and I always like to ask this one because it's such a tough sport, the toughest sport. The dieting's hard, the fighting's hard, the training, sparring's hard.
Yes.
You always get what you put in, you know, decisions might go against you. What has kept you loving this sport all these years?
To be honest, it's just my love for the sport. Honestly, like it's just my big love for the sport and what I learned from the sport, outside of just, you know, the boxing, just the decisions and you know, the fighting. Like, I learned a lot of real life, you know, lessons about, you know, independency. You know, you can't blame anybody else for losing a fight. You know, that's your fault. You know, I can't pass the ball to this person. You know, I can't. You know, this is not a team sport. Like, you know, though I'm not knocking anybody that does team sports, but I just feel like you build more of an independent attitude when you're a boxer, because it's literally mano a mano. It's one-on-one. You know, patience, you know, by me being a boxer puncher, I learned a lot of patience, you know, making 3 and 4 or 5, thinking about my moves 5 or 6 steps ahead of my opponent. You know, things like that help me in my everyday life. So that's one of the main reasons why I've stayed on boxing.
That's fantastic, Bruce. Thanks very much for your time. And
Thank you.
Really looking forward to watching you in Tokyo next year.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.